So this is just speculatory news. So, okay. It apparently finally happened. After apparently a lot of stress going on backstage, apparently the WWE Cruiserweight King of the Cruiserweights, Adrian Neville, or just Neville, because long names are harmful to children apparently, at least that's how I see it, has reportedly left the company, walked out on Monday Night Raw before it went on the air, and formally requested his release. So yeah, he pulled a CM Punk, but this time he's asking to leave, whereas Punk just straight up quit because he claims he's an independent contractor. So, yeah, everyone was wondering, after what happened last week, it looked like they were going to do a Neville versus Enzo Amore feud after the double turn that happened during the celebration of Enzo Amore. So, after that, it was also known that Neville had pretty much forfeited all rights to the Cruiserweight Championship so long as Enzo was champion. So, yeah, and now Kalisto came back, and after he showed up, he had no speaking lines. He just led the charge against Enzo, but knew he couldn't touch him because he had a clause where he says, if anyone touches Enzo, he gets fired. They get fired. So, yeah, considering how the Cruiserweights are treated on the main roster, I'm pretty sure they would have taken the risk and just got fired. Like, they can make their name in the independent scene. In fact, all of them were from the independent scene. They're bigger stars in the independent scene than they are in the Cruiserweight division on WWE, but that's a different story. So, okay, it got reported that Enzo left the company, walked out on Monday Night Raw before it went on the air, and WWE had to change plans and went with Kalisto to win the Cruiserweight title from Enzo. Now, this got reported on Tuesday during SmackDown Live, and now when you think about it, it's like, yeah, there's something going on. Well, let's see. He wasn't in the Lumberjack when Kurt Angle said all of the Cruiserweights were to be involved. I thought Neville was going to get involved somehow and screw Enzo, but it looked like someone else did. Ali did it and cost Enzo the title. And Neville was nowhere to be seen. He wasn't with the celebration committee. He was just not there. And he did show up at 205 Live the following SmackDown on the WWE Network. So this led to people even further speculating, did Neville really leave? Well, it looks like that most likely is the case. It got reported on Twitter, then the Wrestling Observer claims that his time with the promotion could now be over, but WWE is now denying these statements. They're officially denying that he has quit. Well, they don't want to acknowledge it. In fact, they didn't want to acknowledge Punk for months until fans demanded an answer. And it came from Punk, of all people. And, yeah, something tells me if he did outright quit and left before the show went on the air, there are various theories we can go with. One is the fact that, look at his time in NXT back when he was Adrian Neville. He was the NXT champion. He was main eventing shows nonstop. He was main eventing NXT exclusive takeover pay-per-views. He was main eventing nonstop. He was delivering high quality matches, especially during the golden age of NXT. And then he gets onto the main roster, and they say at first, "Oh, we want to give you a Mighty Mouse gimmick." That's strike one to many people, I believe. But then they went with a comic book superhero gimmick, but not really portraying a comic book character, thank God. And then he gets added to some matches. He looked like he was getting tag team with Sami Zayn for a bit, but then they went with strike two, the Cruiserweight division. Now, I had said that Neville is the shot in the arm the Cruiserweight division so desperately needs, especially since Vince decides to water it down after only 1 week on the show, after their debut on Raw. So a lot of people speculated that might have been also a reason, but Neville more likely took it with pride. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make the best out of a bad situation. I'm going to go ahead, give the Cruiserweights the shot in the arm they need, and he did do that. And then I think it came to a big climactic problem when they brought in Enzo Amore to the Cruiserweight division. The Cruiserweight division, while it had personality, its main focus was the wrestling. Much to Vince's hatred. In fact, that's how WCW operated. Like, yeah, you can be charismatic and whatnot, but your wrestling skills are the most required to be in the Cruiserweight division. And Enzo Amore, this guy had problems backstage, alienated everybody. Probably not big cast in real life, though. His gimmick on TV was said to be just like his real life gimmick, was to be his real life attitude, who was very eccentric, over the top and whatnot, and really getting annoying with people. And during his feud with Big Cass and during the build up to No Mercy, they treated him like a punching bag. Like, people there were events, the reasons that happened that had no explanation was asked for, that was never given. Like his attack, like Miz attacking him because because Enzo insults his unborn child. Yeah, I must stress Enzo was a good guy at the time. Let's see, Braun Strowman attacking Enzo for no reason before No Mercy, and Neville just looked like he was enjoying it. And then he was probably told before No Mercy, yeah, you're dropping the belt to Enzo. And I'm pretty sure that pissed everybody off, because it was like, wait, we've been punishing this guy for months, treat him as a punching bag because of his attitude in the back, and you're going to reward him? Yeah, I could get why they say that, but WWE's logic is, oh, yeah, we know he's a huge problem. Even the Cruiserweights were reportedly getting upset with him after only 1 week of being in the group. And it was said that the only reason why Enzo is even getting these opportunities is because, oh, well, you see, he's making a lot of money with merchandise sales, and he's very good on the mic, and you suck at it, even though you're really good on the mic. Yeah, we just don't like you. They should have just said that, because you're a top guy in NXT. Enzo wasn't, so you're going to be discriminated, and we're going to side with this guy. Also, you're probably because Vince McMahon is xenophobic. So, yeah. The tension is really mounting, probably. Neville looks to be on his way out. Like, originally it was said he was supposed to fight Neville in a non-title match and end up losing to Enzo somehow. Probably in a low blow. But, yeah, Kalisto was supposed to get the opportunity to fight Enzo at the TLC pay-per-view and probably win then. But when Neville left, they had to quickly change plans and give Kalisto this belt earlier. So, yeah, there's a debate on whether or not he discovered the change and just straight up lost it, or walked out before learning of it. It is claimed he made a sharp exit for the arena just before the cameras went on the air. So, Neville is probably gone. WWE's denying it. There's a huge chance this is possible. And there is a problem here. If it's revealed by Neville in a podcast or a shoot interview, since he's gone and probably will say whatever he wants, that this is stemming from the fact that comparators run in NXT, that it sucked on the main roster. Like, he had a couple of good highlights. He even contended for the WWE Championship at one point. That would make NXT wrestlers even more hesitant to say, do I really want to be on the main roster? Do I even want to sign with the company? I'm probably doing much better in the independent scene. Like, Neville, yeah, he got a pay raise being on the main roster, but everyone just looked at it as saying, oh yeah, that's a demotion. Like, you're creatively protected in NXT, but you're not on the main rosterville WWE. You're just a target. So if it's revealed by Neville of all people in a shoot interview later down the road that WWE has a discriminatory towards NXT guys because they're idiots, because NXT does better than them in almost every way, like they're bringing back the War Games, and WWE refuses to do that because Vince is a petty bastard. And probably because he doesn't like anything he doesn't create. In fact, that's been said by dozens of people in the past. So, Neville is the guy who should be world champion. He should have been a universal champion. He could have been that. He could have been WWE champion. He could have even been world heavyweight champion back when the belt was still around. But no, they have to say, nope, you're small, therefore you're a cruiserweight to us. You're not worthy of being in the main event. And I think that line when Enzo says that throughout the 9 months that you held the Cruiserweight Championship, you never even sniffed this hour, I think that might have been what broke the camel's back for him. Like being told, oh yeah, you're good. You're real good in the ring. But here's the truth. You're not Enzo Amore. You're never going to be the main event. Enzo's the main event. You're not. I think that probably got to him. This is just speculatory. This is just me getting theories and just throwing it out there. But with all this possible discrimination of NXT guys and gals, makes me worry for Asuka when she makes her main roster debut. Because there is rumors by Taz that he said that Asuka's streak might not continue. Oh yeah, that's gonna piss everybody off. So yeah, when that happened, Neville just most likely snapped and just said, fuck all of you guys, I'm out of here. Like, I made friends in this business, but if I'm going to be kissing all your asses, corporate commander, I'm going to leave. Like, yeah, Neville was... And here's the thing, Enzo main event Raw 3 weeks in a row. He was the focus, Neville wasn't. Neville main evented the second hour, but he never got to be the main event. Even though rightfully he deserved to be in the main event because of his talent alone. And the fact that he was awesome. So, I think this might have gotten to a breaking point. We don't know yet. We'll probably hear from Neville. Though, it seems a certain club is interested in getting him to the group. Yeah, the Young Bucks have said, hey Neville, we got a Bullet Club shirt for you. And what's Neville's potential now if he has truly left on the independent circuit? If I had to guess, he'll probably be like Cody Rhodes. He'll probably be in Bullet Club. Cody Rhodes was more like the expansion toward the Americas, like AJ Styles was. And Cody Rhodes is doing a hell better than he did in WWE right now. Especially when they rejected every idea he had for the Stardust character. And now Neville has the potential to probably be in Bullet Club. So that's starting off somewhere. He could be in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like he's very talented. He can work in New Japan. And being part of Bullet Club will just be the shot in the arm he needs for rejuvenation. So, yeah, and I would love to see Neville versus Cody Rhodes. That not Stardust versus Neville. I mean Cody Rhodes, or Cody, as he's called, versus Neville. That will be awesome. Or he might go back to being called Pac. So, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be we might not hear from him for a bit, but I might talk about what he might say later down the road when we do hear from him. So, that's all. This is, like I said, this is all just theories and speculation for me. And WWE's denying all this is happening. And everyone's saying that this is happening. Even Wrestling Observer Newsletter says it's happening. So, yeah, we'll find out later down the road. But from what I've gathered, from what we've seen, it probably might be the case that Neville is no longer with WWE. Or at least on the verge of quitting since he's asked for his release. And he hasn't tweeted since he talked about how the King of the Cruiserweights deserves better than a horrible merchandise shirt, which when I looked at it, I was like, oh wow, that is not even the least bit creative. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting where Neville goes from here. Or whatever he calls himself in the independent scene. He might call himself Pac again, but I don't know about that. So Neville is the guy who has so much potential. And WWE said, oh, look at this nice diamond. Okay, chuck it to the side. So that sucks. I don't know what's going to happen with Neville afterwards. WWE might try something, or they might go ahead and decide, Well, he's gone. We might as well move on. And Neville, he might thrive in the independent circuit and come back after a couple of years. So, like Drew McIntyre did. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting where Neville's going from here. So, I wish him the best of luck in his possible future endeavors. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to YouTube for more.